Hey everybody, this is Tambeyoda. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back Retro Collection. So these are the Wave 2 of the Retro Collection that they released last year of the Star Wars figures. So we have a total of 6 figures, ranging from Hoth Leia, Hoth Han, Boba Fett, this is Yoda, Dagobah Luke, or actually Bespin Luke, and Lando Calrissian. These figures are a little bit different. They were carded a little bit different than the first wave. They were actually more in line of the same size as the vintage line. So your cards are a little bit bigger and a little bit thicker, and we'll show that off. One way that you can actually tell is by the box that they come in. So you get a whole set in the box. Now this is the original Star Wars retro figures. Now this right here is the new retro with Empire Strikes Back. So you can see that it is way different, and they're both 6 pieces. So you can see in there. And then I'll get you a comparison with the different Lukes. So you have here the Luke with Bespin, and then the Luke Skywalker. So the cards are the same size, but as you can tell, the bubbles are very much really bigger. If you turn it on the side, you're going to see that there is a big difference in there. So these guys right here, if you're looking for protectors, you're probably not going to want to get vintage protectors. You're probably going to want to get protectors that will protect the vintage size figures, not retro or old figures or vintage line. So don't do that. Get something a little bit bigger. Now with these figures, as with the original wave, you're not going to have to worry about people trying to pass them off as originals, because the packaging is a little bit different, where it has kind of like wear on it, where it looks like it's has damage or shelf wear or something like that on it. Now each one of these figures, as you can see, they all have different patterns, so that's something that they changed along with this wave. A lot of people, I guess, complained with the first wave, saying that all of the figures itself had the same wear pattern on them, so they didn't want that. So they changed that a little bit. Then if you look at the back of the package, which you'll be able to see in the 360, the back of the packaging is completely different, just like the first wave, where it just has like a little synopsis story on the back, and then it has a completely different back on there, so you're not going to be able to pass them off. The weapons are a different mold, so you're definitely going to be able to tell the difference between those, so you're not going to have to worry about that. And the figures, they do have different date stamps on those, and I'll try and show that off with whenever we get into the individual figure reviews. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and take a look at each of the individual figures. We'll do a 360 degree of them in their packaging, then outside of their packaging, and then we'll do a quick review of each of the individual figures out of the packaging. All right, so Hoth Leia, I did have to put a bit of this blue poster board stuff on the bottom of her feet to get her to stand up, because she wanted to keep falling over. But You can see, does not look like Carrie Fisher at all. But she does have a gun. And unlike last time, this does fit in her hand and it does stay. So it's very good. So we got our Hoth Leia, and I'm dropping her because she's really small. But take the gun, and you can see the guns are really crisp. So you're not going to be able to pass these off as originals. Not at all. And then if you look at the bottom, let's see here, where's the maker's mark at? Should be a stamp. There's a stamp right here. It's usually made in Vietnam. I don't see a year date on here. Usually they have a year date on them somewhere, but yeah. Oh, well, there's Leia. So, very limited articulation. But it is a vintage figure itself. So, if you weren't able to get these originally whenever you were a kid, then, you know, you have a chance now. And I don't see that these are going to really affect the original vintage market at all. So these are just going to be for people that couldn't afford the original ones and now want to have something in their collection also. And next up will be Han Solo. So here is the Hoth Han Solo. And you can see, very bulky figure, very, very heavy. He does hold his blaster really well. That's another plus. So they did a better job on this one than some of the other ones. Well, you know what? Yeah, he's doing all right. So we do have him. He has a holster on here, but his gun does not go in there. You can see his boots, and I'll point out something a little bit later on a different figure. But just look at these boots and remember them. Actually, it'll be on a different video, so never mind. Yeah, if you're watching this video, remember this for the next video. But yeah, very limited articulation. It's not. This figure is very old. This mold's about 40 years old or over 40 years old. So somewhere around there. So this is ooh, that's tight. Wow. So he only has about 5 points of articulation. Each of his hands, his feet, or each of his legs, and then his head. So you're not going to get much there. You're lucky that he can't hold his gun. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and move on. Our next figure will be Yoda. All right. So here is little Yoda. He's so cute. It looks he's like one of my favorites here. If you check him out, you can see his eyes. Little. I don't know if those are orange eyes or brown eyes, but he has a couple of accessories. He has his little cane. He has this little orange snake. He has his robe, and then he has this belt that has some little added features on there, where you have the little lamp that he stole from Luke. Then he has some little box here. I'm not sure if that was something else that he stole from Luke, but you can unattach that. And does he have regular clothes on? Yeah, he has pants on underneath here. Does he have? Yeah, he has like a brown shirt on underneath there. So, all right, that's really cool. I do like that. So basically, once again, only 5 points of articulation. We got the head, the arms, and the legs. If the legs even move, yeah, the legs do move. So, all right. So we're gonna take out and check out our next character, and that's gonna be Boba Fett. And now here we have Boba Fett. So we have Boba Fett. He has a Stormtrooper blaster for some reason. He does have his rocket in his jetpack, but it doesn't come out. I guess it's glued in. Not really sure. Not really trying real hard to pull it out either. I don't know if you have to twist it or something for it to come out. I thought it was removable, but I've never had an original Boba Fett, so I don't really know. I know that originally it was supposed to be fireable, but they did change that. But I thought that you were still able to remove the rocket, even though they took the firing mechanism out of it. Oh, Boba Fett does have 5 points of articulation. He has a head joint, arm joints, leg joints. That's about it. It's got some nice paint. I do enjoy this figure. I can see why everybody loves this figure. Everybody loves the character also. Our next figure up is going to be Bespin Luke. Okay, so here's Luke with a very wrong colored lightsaber and a Han Solo blaster. So, yeah. That's a very wrong colored lightsaber. I don't know why they did that. I don't know if there's ever a story as to why they decided to give him a yellow lightsaber. They gave him a yellow lightsaber on his first figure also, so I don't really know. I figured that after the first one was incorrect, that they would have fixed this one at least, but is that his lightsaber hilt right there? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's hanging down on from his hip right there too. And you got his holster on with his gun, and you can tell that these are not going to be passed off as originals because they are very, very crisp, very a lot of detail, and I think that there's also some detail in here that's not in the original guns also. So if anybody knows anything, then they're not going to be able to pass those off as originals. So, and then I think that there's also some added detail in the handle. If I can, see the handle has some added little details. I don't think those are in the original. I don't know if they are. Then they're very, very minute details. All right, so let's go ahead and bring out our next figure, which is Lando himself. And here we have the pimp daddy himself, Mr. Lando Calrissian. It's nice to see you among the stars. So we have here, he does have his cape on, as ever dapper as he is. Just needs his hat and his cane, and he'll be good to go. All right, he does have a blaster, a small blaster here, and I think, if I'm remembering correctly, he probably should have just a regular blaster. So probably trade off with Boba Fett over there, because I think that he got a regular blaster from one of the stormtroopers whenever they were taking back control of Cloud City. So in any case, he does have 4 points or 5 points of articulation. One with his head, a couple with his arms, and with his legs. Now, man, dude, it does stick. So you gotta break that free that first time. You wanna do that karate chop. Looks like he's got some doo-doo on his feet, but no, that's a stamp. First when I raised that foot up, I was like, ooh, what'd you step in, Lando? All right, so yeah, that's it's gonna be it for all of these guys. He's the very last of the 6 that they released for the Empire Strikes Back's retro collection. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this. We're going to bring all of these guys out. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. The littlest of them all. Han Solo and Leia. So, all right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video review. If you did, please give us a big old like. If you're new here or you just haven't subscribed yet, then go ahead and do that right now. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because we do release 2 videos each week. I want to thank you for watching. As always, this is Tambeyoda, and I'll see you guys next time.